Hi, I'm Beth Payton, the Magnet Coordinator at Adairsville High School, where we have the Center for Advanced Studies in Science, Technology, and Math.
Hi, I'm Emily Thompson. I'm the Magnet Coordinator at Cass High School, and we are the Center for Advanced International Studies.
Hey, I'm Eric Willoughby, the Magnet Coordinator at Woodland High School. We are the Center for Advanced Studies in Medical Science, and I hope you stay tuned to watch the rest of our video as you see the presentation we gave at Adairsville Middle School about all three of our Magnet programs.
Good morning, I am Ms. Payton, and I'm the Magnet Coordinator at Adairsville High School right next door, so good morning, Tiger family. We are here to talk to you about the exciting opportunities that you have as 8th graders about becoming a magnet student. So you may have a few questions. First of all, like, what is a magnet school? All three Bartow County schools are magnet schools, which means we have a very specified program, an area of study, which you can explore at each of the schools. And we're going to talk about exactly what you can study at each one in detail. But that curriculum is driven by interest. So student interest makes us decide what kind of curriculum you're going to study, how rigorous it's going to get, and then that drives kind of our partnerships and who we bring in to help teach and help support our program. So each Bartow County High School is a magnet school with a very specified program of interest. Mr. Willoughby is going to talk to us about what is a magnet student.
Good evening, or morning, evening, it's something like that. I do that at church every Sunday. I always say evening and it's morning. My name is Mr. Willoughby. I'm the Magnet Coordinator at Woodland High School. And so what is a magnet student? Very simply put, it's a student that's passionate about being successful in their academic pursuits in high school. Many of you will fall into that category, but it's also somebody that has the aptitude for advanced studies at eye level. So AP, which is advanced placement, which is college courses that are taught in the high school by trained teachers prepared for those particular content areas. You will take 8 to 10 college level courses by the time you finish high school. So a magnet student is someone who's passionate about the thematic experience, as Ms. Payne just mentioned, but also passionate about high achievement in academics. I'll turn it over to Ms. Thompson now to let you know about what is an experience like as a magnet student.
Hi, good morning. I'm Emily Thompson. I'm the Magnet Coordinator at Cass High School. And so you may be wondering, okay, I know what a school is, a magnet school, and I know what a magnet student looks like, but does that mean that I'm going to be going home and studying until I pass out at 11 o'clock because I have so much work to do? No. Okay, the magnet experience is holistic, which means that it's not just academic, it's also everything else that includes high school experience. So it's sports, it's clubs, it's anything that you can think of. It's pep rallies, it's social activities, it's leadership components. We want you to be a student, a high school student first and foremost. And if you choose, you will have the choice as a magnet student which of the 3 high schools you go to. So you guys are districted for Adairsville High School, right? If you decide, hey, I really like what Woodland has to offer, you can choose to go to Woodland and become a Woodland student. You can participate in the band, you can participate in theater, you could be doing anything that Woodland offers, okay? So the magnet experience, it's not just academics, okay? So we want to make sure that you understand that because it might seem a little intimidating up front, like, whoa, that's a lot of studying. It's hardcore, it certainly is. We don't want to fool you on that, okay? You're going to have to work hard, but you're going to graduate with an experience that's holistic. You've done everything that high school has to offer, and you're going to be super competitive going into college. Colleges are going to want you. So to start us off, Ms. Payton is going to talk to you about the opportunities at Adairsville High School.
All right, so like I said, Adairsville High School, and we have a very unique magnet. It is STEM. How many of you have been experiencing STEM here for the last 3 years? How many of you love STEM? Anybody love STEM? Okay. I saw a few hands go down, makes me worry. All right, let's talk to you about what STEM looks like at Adairsville High School. When we looked at STEM, because as you know, science, technology, engineering, and math is a huge umbrella. We had to figure out what kind of programs we're going to offer, and we did that based on what kind of jobs are being offered right now, what's the most competitive in college, and what students love, okay? So under that umbrella of STEM, we have 3 very unique programs that you can study, which are engineering, computer science, and environmental science. And I'm going to With engineering, we have so many unique opportunities. We have an engineering lab just for them that just opened up. They have already gotten engineering workshops. They have gotten lots of engineer guest speakers already. They are hands-on, project-based learning in our engineering department. One of the unique classes that we opened up this year was robotics. Some of you may have some experience with some Spiros or some Arduinos or something like that from STEM here, and we have those, and then we have more. And we have the TI rovers that are calculator-driven, and we also are opening our first robotics tech challenge. And the kids have just opened up the boxes. The robots just came, and they're piecing them together, and you're given a challenge every year for the competition, and they are really loving the robotics component. That wraps up into our computer science as well. Both of them get the robotics piece. But our computer science, how many of you are gamers? Any gamers out there? Okay. This may kind of interest you as far as, and I know you're all social media bros, right? We all do social media. These students are learning how to create apps. And they're learning how to program games. A group of students already came to approach me, and they want to start an esports club so that they can do that for fun. So they are getting really into computer programming. Our Microsoft partners currently, right now, are teaching them side by side with our computer science teachers. So we have some really great partnerships that allow students to get experience from big corporations like Microsoft. And then we have environmental. How many of you are outdoor folks? Love plants, love some animals? Okay, I'm talking to you here. Environmental science, we have an outdoor classroom. We also have an environmental lab. We also have our nature trail that hooks onto our outdoor lab or outdoor classroom. And they have spent more time outside of the classroom than indoors this year. They have been outdoors collecting species collections, and they have been taking pictures and doing species identifications for plants and animals and all sorts of things. They are loving being outdoors right now and learning and hands-on and doing some experiments with our water sampling and our soil testing. So if you are into, right now they have Zoobot, which is zoology, botany, animals and plants. And they'll be taking or having the opportunity to take other specified courses which are not offered anywhere except at Daresville High School, such as oceanography, entomology, and other things that are the plant, animal, and environmental science studies. So with our program, you get several things. First of all, hands-on experience in any of the 3 programs that we offer. Second, you get intensive internships with our partners. So we've hunted down the best partnerships for you so that you can, when you get into your junior and senior year, you can go in and work hands-on in the field with them during that class time. So you'll get that experience whether or not you really do want to go down that field in college or not. So you may think that you like it here, and you may learn in high school before you spend 4 years of college, realizing that's not what you want to do. You'll get that hands-on experience there. You may experience it and learn that's exactly what you want to do. We also have study abroad opportunities. So these are pictures of, not this past year, because we know what happened this past spring, but the year before, we went to Costa Rica. And they took an eco-adventure tour that was environmental-based. And this upcoming year, we're really excited because we're going to take our magnet students to Iceland for a very specified STEM tour. And each year, the location will change, but always be STEM-based. And we're hoping to keep that same 4 location going each year so that you all will not miss Iceland. It will just be a different year when you get up there. We offer 20+ AP courses. There are a certain number of AP courses that are required that will make you very, very competitive for college, but you'll have the opportunity to take 20+, which if you're familiar with AP, that's advanced placement. That's a college level course in high school setting in which you'll take the exam, and if you pass it, you get that college level course in high school, so you're that much further ahead before you even step foot in college. We also have a unique capstone diploma. The AP capstone diploma is AP research and seminar, which you'll get to do your 10th and 11th grade years, and that is a very sought after diploma for colleges. They look to see if you have that. And then of course, I'm really excited for you guys to see our STEM lab, our robotics lab, and our engineering lab that have been newly renovated. So October 22nd is our prospective magnet night, and we would love to have you come and see it, meet our magnet students that are currently in it, and see all the hands-on things that we have at Adairsville High School. I'm going to turn it over to Miss Emily Thompson to talk to you about international studies.
Bonjour, je suis Emily Thompson et je suis la coordinatrice de magnet de l'ICAS. Nuestros estudiantes en el programa de los estudios internacionales se enfocan en los estudios sociales y también en las lenguas extranjeras. Language. You can choose to speak any of the languages that we offer Chinese student is going to come here and like take your spot, go to your classes, be involved with your family, and you're going to get to do that in China. Okay, we offer one of those programs for all of the languages that we offer. Pretty cool opportunity. We also offer culturally immersive trips. Our goal is to get you to be able to travel to all 4 corners of the world by the time you graduate. So our trip that we're taking fingers crossed, in the summer is to Spain. And we're going to be doing really unique things. We're going to be ziplining. We're going to be going to a Barcelona game. Anybody know who's a good player on Barcelona's team? He's like the most famous soccer player ever. Messi! Yeah, we're going to go see Messi. We're going to see a Barcelona game. We're going to learn about sword making and bullfighting. You're going to take a dance class and a cooking class. And I mean, just culturally speaking, incredible opportunities. Okay? And don't feel like you're going to miss out. Like Ms. Payton said, right? It's not like, oh, I don't get to go there. I don't get to experience those things. There's different opportunities every single year, but there will be an opportunity to travel. And then finally, we also have language immersive trips. Okay, so this would be like your sophomore or your junior summer, and what we're going to do is we're going to take you and put you in the country that you're studying. So say that you're learning French, you would get to travel to France and live over there for a short time and be involved in a business. So you're getting real-world experience while you're learning the language, while you're learning about the economy and the culture. So again, that's something that is unique to Cass in the sense, not in the sense of travel, because all schools offer opportunities to travel abroad. I mean, they're great opportunities. But we put a strong emphasis on it because it is a big part of our program. So if you choose to come to Cass and study with us, you will have an internationally focused curriculum. So again, we're going to be focused on that culture, that language, and learning about people. You will have magnet cohorted classes. Anybody know what cohort means? Group, essentially, is what it means. So a magnet grouped class. So you're going to be in not all your classes, but a few of your classes. You're going to be in a group with other magnet students. You guys know that expression that iron sharpens iron, right? So it essentially means that somebody who's sharp is sharpening you who are sharp as well. So you're getting better and smarter and stronger as they're getting better and stronger and smarter. So you're helping each other grow and learn at a much higher level than you would in a normal classroom. You also are going to be given opportunities for leadership, both within the school and within the community. That's at all 3 schools that we offer that leadership component. We do offer, I know both of the other magnet coordinators have talked about AP courses. We offer over 20 of those as well. So you'll be going into college, hopefully with some credit, definitely with some college level experience. You're getting hands-on field experience, you're doing intensive research, you're getting experience with the experts and the professionals, and then of course you will be given opportunities to study abroad. So that's the general idea of what's going on at Cass, and now Mr. Willoughby is going to come talk to you about Woodland High School.
All right, thank you, Ms. Thompson. I don't have multiple languages to speak to you. I can say thank you. Sign language, I always used to do this with my kids when they were little, and even when I was teaching the band at Woodland High School, I would do that towards my students. I love you. That's about all I got on languages, but I do want you to know about the Woodland High School Center for Advanced Studies in Medical Sciences, and as you might initially think, well, this makes sense. I understand what medical science means, but you don't necessarily know exactly the different broad nature of the program, okay? We're in an election cycle right now, and healthcare is one of the most significant topics in this election because it really hits home for all of us. Every single one of us in some capacity, whether it's a family member or ourselves, has to deal with healthcare on a daily basis. So whether it be physicians or nurses or laboratory specialists or administrators, the number of opportunities for you to go into a field of healthcare are limitless. And we want to make sure you've got the foundations to be prepared to be successful in college to propel you towards your greatest dreams. We did a recent TV interview, the 3 of us, with some of our students present, and one of my current 14-year-old boys in the program got up and he was asked, so what do you want to do when you grow up? He said, I want to be an anesthesiologist. And we're all kind of like, okay. Where do you want to go to college? He said, either Emory or Johns Hopkins. And so he's already rattling off the top programs that he can go into to realize his dream of being somebody that makes a difference in other people's lives every single day. My oldest son recently had a procedure and he had to go under anesthesia. And I'm telling you, as a parent, you're like, don't mess it up, buddy, right? Like, don't put him to sleep where he didn't come back up awake, right? So we want the sharpest, smartest people in the medical science field. And at Woodland High School, through our program, we want to prepare you to realize that dream, whatever it might be. Yes, we have a healthcare science pathway that you can be a part of. How many of you have somebody that you know that's a nurse right now? A lot of hands are going up. And I could ask you what field you want to go into, and you may raise your hand about a multitude of them. But if I were to list all of the fields that fall into the medical science pathway, we would be here the rest of the day. Okay? But we want to give you a foundational experience that makes your learning really hit home and be meaningful. We've got a couple of pictures to point out to you. Up at the top center, that's our almost finished magnet STEM lab in the medical sciences at Woodland. It's 2 rooms. We've got 2 like frosted glass hospital-style doors that separate our digital lab from our wet lab. And in the digital lab, we're going to have 2. Board approval is coming in a couple of weeks here. That bottom picture is actually a very long virtual 3D table with software where cadavers have been scanned in using MRI technology at 1 millimeter slices of a human body. And you can literally go in, you can zoom in, you can rotate, you can slice the body, you can put your cursor on anything and it'll highlight exactly what that is. There are very few hospitals in the region, southeast, that have this technology. Woodland High School is going to have 2 of these in our building. We're going to have specialists across the region coming to our building to teach their physicians how to do procedures on our equipment, and it's going to help develop partnerships for us. We already have one with Cartersville Medical Center, and that's already really providing great dividends to our students, because next week we're going to have the lead pathologist at the hospital come and speak to our students about what they've learned about proteins and cells and how they can connect that with what we're learning today as an entire society about COVID-19. So these partnerships matter. And all 3 of the high schools have these kinds of partnerships where we really give you the chance to hear from professionals in the field that you're passionate about. So what does the course sequence look like? As a 9th grader, you'll take AP Biology, which is a college-level biology course, and you'll go straight into our capstone experience where you'll take AP Seminar and AP Language. And I'm super excited. Our current cohort is a 9th grade, and when they get to 10th grade, they're going to have one of our lead teachers teaching them AP Language and AP Seminar, and it's going to be one of the most dynamic learning environments I've ever seen. I've been in this teacher's language class, and I'm telling you, I just didn't want to leave. The students were debating back and forth on topics related to the current election cycle and all that. It's just fantastic. So one of the great things about being a magnet student at any one of these programs is you're going to have phenomenal teachers preparing you and sharpening you in these topics that you love. And then finally, just a couple other things. So I've listed a few things that might pique interest about what you might experience as a magnet student at Woodland High School. At the end of your experience, you're going to have an internship with the hospital or one of the other many partners that we'll have in the medical science field. It could be as an administrator, it could be as a physician's assistant tech, it could be anything that really piques your interest. And that's the great part, is we get to customize this for you. As Ms. Payton was saying about Adairsville, if you come to me and say, you know what, I really want to be a veterinarian when I grow up, okay? Well, I'm going to find a veterinary clinic that can partner with us to make sure that that's where you're placed for your internship. Let's say you want to be a lab technician. I'm going to find a lab specialist that's going to welcome you to work side by side with them, so that when you go to college and they start doing that in college, you're like, done that. I did that in high school. And there are going to be college students going, how did you get that experience? Because Bartow County has invested in you getting these kinds of experiences. So if you want to be a magnet student, you will separate yourselves from other students, not just in this system, but in this entire state. I'm convinced of it. And we also will have study abroad opportunities. At the end of your freshman year, we'll have a trip to London and Edinburgh, where we'll go and tour some of the history in the medical sciences field in Europe and how that historically kind of evolved into the present day medical world. We're also going to do a whole day on Jack the Ripper and looking at how forensic science could have really had an impact on how he could have been stopped a lot earlier. We're at a point now where we can kind of figure just about anything out through DNA and medical research. So we hope that you're serious about your studies, and if you choose Woodland, we want to give you that foundation to be successful. I'm going to bring back, I guess, Beth Payton, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about the programs.
So just a little bit more information. We want to share some of the things that are common throughout all 3 programs and the opportunities provided. The first thing is transportation. So if you decide, as you are districted right now for Adairsville High School, if you decide you want to go to Cass or Woodland, there are satellite stations or buses that come pick you up at locations within Adairsville and take you to your magnet school. So that will be available to all students within the county at no cost. Community partnerships, we spoke individually about those, but we all have very strong partnerships to enhance our programs. We're going to take very unique field trips that kind of are driven by you. Like, we really want some experience in XYZ, we're going to go hunt that out and look and see what we can do to give you that experience. College visits are common for juniors and seniors. You'll get those earlier and you'll get them tailored. So what you'll get is more STEM-focused college visits, more medical science-focused college visits, more international studies, where they offer strong programs within the colleges of those programs. Guest speakers, we're already kind of inundated with guest speakers where we pull from those community partnerships and bring in the experts in the field to talk to you and make sure that you're focused on what you really want to study later on. And we work with those same speakers and our community partners to provide internships for you so that you can work hands-on in the field. And then the last one, of course, is study abroad. You've heard where each of us are going to go, and we'll continue to search out locations that interest you and kind of focus on the program of study that you've chosen. And now Mr. Eric Whittleby is going to talk about, if you are interested, what do you need to do to apply?
All right, so you might be wondering, so what's next? And Ms. Thompson's going to talk to you about the open house opportunities. You have to come and visit each of our 3 programs a little bit more in depth. But how are you going to apply and what's going to be the considerations? First of all, your grades. Your middle school grades matter, okay? You may think it's not going to be on your college transcript, therefore it doesn't matter. If you apply to magnet, it will. We'll be looking at your grades throughout middle school, particularly 8th grade. We'll also be looking at test scores, all right? You didn't take milestones at the end of 8th grade. You know, nobody took state tests last year, but you did take some prior to that. We may look back into the history of those. The PSAT 8-9. Are you taking that coming up soon? Yes, you're taking it next Wednesday, October the 14th, right here in your middle school, okay? So you will want to make sure that you're here, that you're well rested, and that you do your very best on that exam, because if you are applying to a magnet program, that score will be a significant component of our analysis. You will also give us the names of 2 teachers to give you a recommendation, all right? You'll be given the opportunity to give us a 3rd name to also supplement those recommendations, and then we will reach out to those teachers to fill out a form on your behalf. And then in the application itself, you will respond to some questions, giving us feedback as to what your desires are, your passions. Why do you want to be a part of the magnet program? And that will complete your application process. That application is going to come open on November 2nd. So it's after you've visited the 3 programs, if you want to visit all 3, and then you can apply. That application window will be open until December the 7th. And if you log on to any website in the school system, you will see those reminders come up over that period of time. If your parents are in social media, they'll see it on Facebook and Twitter as well. And that'll give you the chance to be reminded of those things. Ms. Thompson is going to come up and remind you of those open house experiences, and we hope that you've enjoyed learning about our programs.
All right, guys. So if this is something that interests you, we want to encourage you to go to all 3 prospective nights if you're able. If you know, hey, I'm not interested in international studies, you may not need to go to Cass's prospective night, but you never know what you'll find. You might see something that you're like, wow, I didn't even think about that. I really want to know more. And that's what you're going to learn at these prospective nights. You're going to get more information about each school. We gave you kind of like a brief overview tonight. At those prospective nights, you're going to have opportunities to hear from principal, current magnet students, former, Cass, Woodland, or Adairsville students, teachers. There's all kinds of things you're going to learn at those prospective nights. So we want to encourage you to come. So those nights,